They called it magic, but I called it truth, and that truth is this: your word is your wand, and with it, you cast the shape of your tomorrows. Everything you speak, whether in faith or in fear, has already begun to take form. People wonder why life turns out the way it does. But they don't realize they've been writing the script with their own voice, with the words they repeat, the phrases they say when no one is listening, the jokes they don't think matter, the complaints they think are harmless. But darling, every word plants a seed, and every seed bears fruit. So if you say, I am always lacking, don't be surprised when lack follows you like a shadow. If you say, nothing good ever happens to me, the universe, obedient and waiting for your command, aligns to make that your truth. And if, instead, you dare to say, everything is unfolding in divine timing, then the tides shift, the clouds part, the answers appear. What you speak becomes what you see. You are never just talking. You are instructing the invisible to move on your behalf. This is not philosophy, this is law. The law of the spoken word, the law of belief in action. When I say speak your reality into existence, I mean just that. Speak it. Not once, not weekly, but with unwavering faith, as if it is already done. Because in truth, it is. You are the creator of your world, not through effort, but through alignment. Alignment with the unseen, the eternal, the divine that moves through you. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to fight to be heard. You only have to declare what is already yours and watch the path rise up to meet you. Speak not what you fear. Speak what you desire. Declare not what is lacking. Affirm what is flowing. And watch how life obeys your command. Your word is your power, your tool, your bridge between the invisible and the visible. Your word is your wand, and with it, you cast spells of healing or harm, love or loneliness, abundance or anxiety. And every time you open your mouth, you choose. You choose what frequency you operate from. You choose which kingdom you build. And what a blessing it is, what a sacred gift, to have this power placed not in something unreachable, but in your very own voice. A voice connected to source. A voice that speaks not just sound, but vibration, and vibration is the code of creation. It is the currency of the spiritual realm. And so, speak as if God is listening, because He is. Speak as if your words carry weight, because they do. Speak as if your life depends on it. Because, my dear, it does. There is no neutral word. Every utterance is a command. Every phrase is a petition. And when you say, I am aligned, you begin to align. When you say, I am healed, the healing begins. When you say, everything I need is already mine, the supply begins to pour. Not because you wished it, but because you believed it. Faith is not hoping. Faith is knowing. And when you know, you speak differently. You walk differently. You expect differently. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't believe. You stop arguing for your limitations. You stop repeating the past, and instead, you start writing the future with every sacred syllable. So I say to you now, listen closely to your words. Are you affirming your power, or are you reinforcing your pain? Are you speaking as a victor, or a victim? Are you declaring the truth of abundance, or echoing the illusion of lack? Because the universe doesn't speak English or French or Spanish. The universe speaks vibration, and your words are vibration made visible. So don't speak what you don't want. Don't declare what you're trying to break free from. Instead, speak what lifts you. Speak what alights you. Speak what aligns you, and keep speaking it. Not once, but daily, constantly, faithfully, until it becomes your second nature. Because the truth is, you don't get what you want. You get what you speak, what you repeat, what you affirm even when you don't see it yet. That is faith. That is magic. That is divine law in motion. And once you understand it, you will never speak carelessly again. You will speak with intention. You will speak with precision. You will speak with the authority that was always yours, waiting for you to remember. And when you do, you'll see life bend to your voice. You'll see mountains move. You'll see doors open. And it won't be luck. It will be law. It will be your word, bringing forth your world, just as it was meant to be. There is a moment in everyone's journey when they realize, truly realize, that they are not waiting on life. Life is waiting on them, or waiting on them to speak with conviction. Waiting on them to declare what they want without apology. Waiting on them to understand that the word is not just communication. It is creation. The power that lies in the tongue is not symbolic. It is structural. It rearranges the invisible. It draws from the formless into form. And so many people wander in circles not because life is denying them, but because they are speaking two languages, one of faith and one of fear. And the universe responds to the loudest one. You must make your faith the louder voice. You must train your mouth to be an instrument of power, not panic. You must decide. Here and now. that every word you speak will serve your highest good, that you will no longer waste your breath on doubt, on complaining, on telling stories of how it didn't work before. That story is over. The moment you speak a new word, the page turns, the chapter shifts, and the author becomes you, not by effort, not by force, but by frequency. When your speech vibrates with trust, trust finds you. When your language harmonizes with the divine flows effortlessly through your life. Say now, I am in harmony with my highest path. I do not fear delay. I do not beg for signs. I speak the truth of who I am, and all of creation responds. Speak that with breath, with stillness, with inner knowing. You were never meant to be powerless. You were never meant to stay silent while life happens to you. You were meant to speak, to choose, to participate in the unfolding. This is why your word matters so much. You cannot afford to joke about failure. You cannot casually claim pain. You cannot call yourself unlucky and expect blessings to bloom. What you call yourself, you become. So say, I am favored. Say, I am guided. Say, my voice aligns with divine law, and divine law never fails. And if no one around you speaks this way, that's all the more reason you must. Your reality is not a reflection of the crowd. It's a reflection of your consciousness. Your inner dialogue is your true environment, and your outer world is simply the echo. So if you want something to change out there, begin in here. In the silence before the sound. Begin with a single word of power. One word spoken in alignment is more effective than 1,000 words rooted in fear. And what is alignment truly? It is saying what God would say about you. It is choosing to speak life when the world speaks defeat. It is choosing to declare abundance when all you see is lack. That is where the shift begins, not in changing the facts, but in changing the focus. Your words give permission. They give instruction. They open doors or close them. And too often, we don't realize how we are using our own mouths to build walls around our blessings. So catch yourself. Notice, when you say, it's too late, ask, who told me that? When you say, I'm always struggling, ask, why am I choosing to repeat that reality? Because you are choosing, whether consciously or not. And once you know you're choosing, you become free. Free to say no more. Free to say, I choose again. Free, this time, I speak differently. And oh, how quickly things change when you do. That person who spoke against you loses their power. That fear that kept returning falls silent. That problem that wouldn't move begins to dissolve. Not because you forced it, but because your word created a new energy, and that energy made space. You are not stuck. You are not helpless. You are not waiting on approval. You are waiting on you to speak, to affirm, to decide, to believe. And once you do, once you speak from the deepest place of truth, the whole world responds in kind. The right people hear your call. The right opportunities reveal themselves. The next step becomes clear, because the word always opens the path. It is the first domino, the first spark, the sacred match that lights the fire of possibility. Say it again. My word is my wand. I do not speak casually. I speak creatively. I use my voice as a channel for the divine, and the divine always answers. Feel how that empowers you, not with ego, but with clarity, not with pride, but with peace. You do not need to shout. You do not need to convince. You only need to choose your word with care, and speak it with calm authority. You are co-creating every moment, every outcome, every miracle, and the brush you hold is the word. So paint wisely, speak tenderly, declare boldly, and when doubt knocks, meet it with the sword of your speech. Not with anger, but with truth. I am held. I am whole. I am becoming exactly what I was meant to be. And in that frequency, you rise. You rise beyond the noise. You rise into the reality your soul already knows is yours. And it all begins, again and again, with a word. You may not realize it, but every sentence you speak sends out ripples, not just into your life, but into the entire field of existence. The unseen listens more carefully than you do. The energy around you organizes itself based on the blueprint of your language, and if you continue saying, I can't, I don't know how, it never works for me, then that energy complies. It does not argue, it does not question, it simply aligns. And yet the same law works in your favor when you speak the opposite. When you say, I am ready, am guided, everything is happening for me, that same invisible field moves mountains. It lifts what you could not lift alone. That is the law. The word comes first. The evidence follows. But most people wait to see something before they believe, before they speak it. And so they wait, and wonder why nothing changes. But I tell you, speak first. Believe first. Say it, feel it, and then watch the fruit appear in your experience. Your life is your garden, and your words are your seeds. If you've planted weeds with years of doubt, worry not. Plant again. Speak again. The word holds the power to uproot anything that no longer belongs. And so, do not fear your past declarations, but be intentional with your present ones. Say this now. I am the master of my word. I am conscious of my speech. I no longer speak what I do not wish to experience. And feel that settle into your soul. Feel how that vibration clears space around you. You can feel it, can't you? The shift in the atmosphere when you declare truth. That is real. That is how fast the law responds. But you must stay consistent. You cannot say one thing in the morning and reverse it with your fear in the afternoon. You cannot speak life on Sunday and death on Monday. Your word must become your rhythm. Not perfection, but persistence. When fear arises, answer it with the word. When doubt creeps in, declare again. Speak again. Do not be silent in the presence of resistance. Let your word pierce through the fog. Say, I walk in divine favor. I am aligned with perfect outcomes. Nothing is denied to me when I speak from truth. And speak it not with desperation, but with joy. As if it has already happened, because spiritually it has. The moment you speak it, you collapse time. The moment you speak it, it begins to manifest. Not because your words are magic in themselves, but because your words are in harmony with divine law. All creation begins with the word. That is ancient, sacred, timeless truth. In the beginning, there was the word. And that word is still active, still creating, still forming through you. You do not have to earn this power. It is already yours. You do not have to be perfect to use it. You only have to be aware, conscious, aligned, and yes, patient. Because sometimes the word you speak needs time to bloom. But that does not mean it isn't working. Say it again, plant it again, and let it grow. The delay is not denial. It is preparation. The echo of your word is forming realities you cannot yet see, but they are real. They are coming. They are drawn to you because you have spoken them. Just as the rose follows the sun, your blessings follow the sound of your voice. But if you cancel them with your doubt, they pause. They wait. They wither. So do not cancel what you have prayed for. Do not curse what you've already blessed. Say instead, I trust the timing. I trust the unfolding. My word is working even when I cannot see it. And let that trust carry you. Let that be your new habit, your new normal. Speaking what aligns, and letting go of what drains. You must become the guardian of your speech. You must become the keeper of your atmosphere. For you are not just living in the world. You are shaping it. You are painting with your words. Every brushstroke matters. Every word shifts something. So what shall you speak today? What reality shall you invite in with your voice? Shall you repeat the old stories of not enough, of fear, of waiting to be chosen? Or will you speak as one already chosen, already rising, already full of the very power you seek? Say this now. I am not a beggar of blessings. I am a speaker of them. I am not chasing. I am attracting. I do not hope. I know. Feel the shift. That is the moment you step into creation. That is the moment the word becomes flesh. Your words hold more than sound. They hold direction. They send out maps for miracles to find you. So speak clearly, speak boldly, speak beautifully, and above all, speak as if heaven is listening, because it is. It is not the number of words you speak, but the nature of the words you repeat that determine the shape of your reality. One single sentence, declared with faith and held with persistence, can do more for your life than 1,000 wishful hopes whispered in fear. And that is why I tell you again, your word is not just a habit. It is a force. It's the tool you were given to move the mountains you thought were permanent. You think you need the right time, the right connection, the right circumstances, but I will always remind you what you need first is the right word. Spoken with conviction, saturated with belief, backed by trust in the invisible, because your words are more than noise. They are signals. They are blueprints. They are declarations to the universe, instructions to your own subconscious, commands to your environment. And the universe, beautiful and obedient as ever, replies not to your desires, but to your direction. And that direction begins with your voice. Speak in alignment and you will be carried by alignment. Speak in fear, and you will spiral in fear. So you must become aware, radically aware, of how you speak in the quiet when no one is listening. What are the phrases you repeat when you're discouraged? What do you say about yourself when things feel uncertain? That is your real script. And if you want to change the movie, you must rewrite that script. You must hold your word to a higher standard. Speak only what empowers. Speak only what lifts. Speak only what aligns with the life you claim to believe in. You see, the word is not just about affirmation. It's about embodiment. You must speak it until it shapes your posture, until it informs your decisions, until it becomes the way you move through the world. I am supported. Say it and then act like it. Walk like it. Choose like it. Everything is unfolding for my highest good. Say it and then stop rushing. Stop forcing. Let it unfold. Let the divine prove to you that it is already working on your behalf. But do not waver. Do not contradict your own prayer with panic. You cannot say, I trust, and then worry the moment it looks different than you expected. You cannot say, I am healed, and then cling to the language of suffering. You must speak from the place you desire to live, not the place you are escaping. Your word is your home. It is the climate of your life, and you decide if it is warm and safe or cold and unpredictable. You choose with every phrase. That's the quiet power you've always had. That's the divine authority flowing through your voice even now, and I want you to reclaim it. No more careless declarations. No more stories that keep you small. No more rehearsing defeat and calling it realism. You are not here to echo pain. You are here to speak purpose. And that purpose begins when you say, I release the old language. I now speak from alignment. I now speak from love. I now speak from power. And yes, the world may not understand. They may say, who do you think you are, talking like that? But you already know the answer. You are a creator. You are a speaker of truth. You are one with divine intelligence, and you no longer need permission to affirm it. So don't seek approval. Seek alignment. Don't explain. Express. Don't shrink. Speak, again and again, until your voice becomes your compass. Until your speech becomes your sanctuary. Until your language becomes your legacy. The people who change the world are the ones who speak differently. Not just louder, truer. They do not describe what is. They declare what will be, and you must do the same. You must train your words to rise, even when your feelings fall. You must choose the phrase that lifts you, even when your environment pulls you down. Say it, I am unwavering in my word. My voice creates realities. I do not speak by accident. I speak by design. Let that become your truth. Let it enter your system until it becomes impossible to speak against yourself. Until it becomes natural to declare victory, even while walking through the valley. Because that is where transformation happens. Not on the mountaintop, but in the moment when everything looks uncertain and you still say, it is done. And you say it not because you feel it, but because you know it. The word is always stronger than the storm. The spoken truth is always louder in the spirit than the noise of the world. And when you speak it enough, your circumstances begin to match it. They must. That is the law. That is the sacred contract between your tongue and your destiny. You speak, and it answers. But only if you hold to it. Only if you speak in faith long enough for the form to follow. So say it again, I am living in alignment. My word aligns with divine will, and divine will cannot fail. That, beloved, is your power. That is your anchor. That is your wand. Now, beloved, let this truth settle deeply into your being. Your word was never meant to be a whisper of helplessness, but a trumpet of authority. You were never designed to be silent in the face of chaos. You were meant to speak peace into it, to call light into the darkness, to announce healing in the presence of sickness, to proclaim abundance where the world only sees lack. Your voice is not an afterthought. It is the first spark, and whether you realize it or not, you are always casting. Every sentence you speak sends energy forward. Every affirmation creates structure in the unseen. Every phrase is a thread in the tapestry of your future. That's why you must be more than careful. You must be intentional. Let your word be a filter. Let it be a gatekeeper. Let it protect what you're building. Do not let fear speak on your behalf. Do not let disappointment dictate your vocabulary. You've carried those old stories long enough. You've repeated phrases born from wounds instead of wisdom. But now you awaken. Now you see clearly. Now you understand. This wand was in your hand all along. And now that you remember your power, you will never again allow the language of defeat to fall from your lips. Now you rise. You speak in agreement with the divine, even when the mirror hasn't caught up yet. Because faith does not wait for proof. Faith is the proof. And the word is how you hold it in your hand. Every I am is a door. Every I declare is a key. Every it is done is a flame that lights the path ahead. So declare it boldly. I am no longer speaking from my past. I speak from my power. I do not tell the story of what hurt me. I speak the story of what's healing me. I do not echo fear. I declare freedom. You are not just speaking for today. You are laying bricks for tomorrow. And each one is set in place by the vibration of your words. So even when it feels hard, speak. Even when no one understands, speak. Even when it looks the same, speak. Speak until your new language becomes your new world. Speak until the cells in your body respond. Speak until your atmosphere aligns. Speak until the unseen becomes the seen. This is the mystery and the miracle. Your word makes the invisible real. It gives form to the formless. It tells the quantum where to flow. And once you accept that truth, life becomes simpler, lighter, holier. You stop chasing. You start calling. You stop forcing. You start flowing. You stop doubting. You start declaring. This is your spiritual technology. It was always within you. And now, you must use it, not occasionally, but continuously. Not only when things are good, but especially when they feel hard. This is when the power is most needed. This is when the word becomes your lifeline. You don't fight with worry. You defeat it with declaration. You don't beg for peace. You speak it. Peace surrounds me. Peace fills me. Peace guides my every step. You don't plead for healing. You claim it. Healing is mine. Restoration is now. Wholeness flows through every cell of my being. You don't mourn over lack. You affirm your abundance. Money comes freely. Resources are attracted to me. A provision meets me before I even ask. And no, you don't do this because you're delusional. You do it because you know who you are. You know that what is visible is only a fraction of what is true. You know that the spiritual precedes the physical. You know that the word is the starting point of every miracle that ever was. And so you speak, not to impress the world, but to instruct the universe. You speak, not to fix something broken, but to reveal what is already whole. You speak because silence no longer suits someone who remembers their divinity. And yes, there will be moments when you forget. There will be days when fear speaks louder. But even then, especially then, return to your word. Let it be your compass. Let it be your shield. Let it be your soft, steady flame when all else dims. Speak softly. Speak confidently. Speak faithfully. And know that every time you say, "It is done," something shifts, something moves, something finds its way to you. Because life is always listening. The divine is always listening. And most of all, you are listening. Your subconscious hears every word you say. So speak to it like you would a child you love. Speak to it gently. Speak to it lovingly. Speak to it until it believes. Until it knows. Until it surrenders to a new way of being. Because once your inner voice changes, everything else must follow. That's the way it works. That's the beauty of it. That's the freedom that's been waiting for you all along. And so now, I leave you with this. Speak it until it becomes. Speak it until the ground beneath you shifts. Speak it until even your silence vibrates with belief. Speak it not because you're trying to make something happen, but because you know it already has. And in that knowing, you will become unstoppable. In that knowing, your word will be your wand. And with it, you will create a life of grace, alignment, peace, and power. Not someday, not when conditions are perfect, but now. Say it with me, for the final time. My word is my wand. I speak with faith. I create with love. And everything I speak in truth comes to be.